Survival games was always kind of a hard game to max on the Hive, but since the new update, things have improved. So in today's episode, I'll be taking a look at how you can get max level on SG the fastest and quickest and most efficient way. Be sure to enjoy the video, like and subscribe as that helps me out a ton, and let's get into it. So how much XP do you get for doing certain things in survival games? Well, for every kill, you get 10 XP. For reaching deathmatch, you get 15 XP. For locking a cash cow, you get 5 XP. And for winning, you get 30 XP. Note that this also counts for duos, so that means these stats aren't multiplied or anything. These count for both solos and duos. What about total XP? Well, there are 30 levels in survival games, and the total XP requirement is 65,250 XP. Now, there isn't any XP cap. That means that it increases by 50 XP every level, which doesn't seem a lot, and it really isn't. And before the update, SG was a tough game to grind, for me at least. Kills weren't really common, and you spent a lot of time in the games because the games lasted so long because you can't find people in it, even though the kills give twice as much XP as in Treasure Wars. But now we have so many different things that could actually help us on our SG grind, the most useful of which is the player tracker. This player tracker basically allows you to see on which direction people are located in, making it easier to get kills. I just suggest using that thing, getting it as quick as possible, and just going after kills, getting good armor, and just basically playing the game as you would. But there are also some other things like the cash cows. Now, they don't give too much XP. 5 XP compared to 10 XP from kills isn't a lot, but every bit counts in my opinion. Now, what I used to do, and what I still do in fact, is I studied the map location for the cash cows. For example, in Fallen Kingdom, I know the cow locations on that map fairly well, and I knew where to go and where to find them. I'd suggest looking up the maps in a CS and trying to find all the locations for where the cash cows could spawn. Now, for maps, I don't really have any recommendations. All of the maps are pretty good, pretty standard, so there isn't really a special one. Usually the one I pick is Fallen Kingdom just because I know the locations of the cash cows, so I suggest if you want to find your own favorite map, just search up or study the locations of the cash cows and you'd be having a good time, I guess. Now, the only way to win SG is to just basically survive and kill everyone pretty simply, just like how SG works. But there are some things that you shouldn't do while you're grinding SG. One of them is running around the map. That is gonna cost you a lot of time, like a lot of time. And I would very much recommend using the teleporters or the launch pads around the map so you can navigate the map faster, so that means you can find more kills and you can get a lot more XP in a faster way. Now, something that you do have to keep in mind as well is that SG isn't really the most popular game on the Hive. Yes, it does have players in it, but sometimes there are times in the day where people just don't want to play SG and would much rather play games like Treasure Wars. You do have to keep that in mind, as I did, when literally at times there was no one playing that game, and then at times there were a lot of people playing it. Please do keep that in mind before you decide using the booster. Now, any things that you need to get better at in SG is probably just your PvP. PvP matters a lot in games like Treasure Wars and SG, and that's why you can get comboed pretty easily, so I would very much recommend maybe working on your PvP, or if you are a great PvP, you're great, but do keep in mind that there are things that can trap you. For example, people, especially sweats, use cobwebs whenever they get comboed. They use cobwebs just because they can trap you in them, and when you're stuck in a cobweb, you're pretty much done if you're not careful with what you're doing. So definitely watch out for people that have cobwebs, or just stay away from them and use bows entirely. But if you're not that good at PvP, something that I'd recommend you to use are the boomboxes. There are some boomboxes like the web boombox or the blindness boombox that are actually pretty useful in stunning your enemy while you're either running away or you're trying to kill them. Those are some great ways to try to get an easier kill if you're not that good at PvP. Something other that you can use is the red boombox, which basically deals a lot of damage to the person, and I fairly recommend that. Or another way they can get better at PvP is just get a friend that can help you out and train you in PvP. Or even a random person in the looking for party, chat in the Discord server, like I said in a previous episode. Those are some ways that you can probably get better at PvP, or even watching some videos on power combo, strafe, and just basically become a sweat on YouTube. That's what I recommend if you want to try to become a PvP sweat. Now, how about supply drops? Are they worth it? I believe that they're very much worth it, even more than the cows. This is because people know where the supply drop is, so that means more people would come to that location and try to kill you, but you can also turn the tables on them, and if someone's waiting there, you can try to kill them. That's another great way to, I guess, get some easy kills for people that are trying to find the same exact thing as you. Now, in a previous video, I showed off that there was a secret room underneath the map in SG4. There are probably a bunch more that I haven't showed off that they do exist, so I recommend maybe checking them out, and you never know, it could be a new place for where you can collect armor and items. I will tell you this, there is another secret room underneath the map in SG4, but I'll probably reveal that in a future episode, so stay tuned for that. Now yes, survival game solos, it takes a while to grind just because of how long it takes getting kills and other factors. But something that you can do, and I'd recommend you to do, is play SG duos, but not with a teammate, but by yourself. Basically, if you play SG duos by yourself, there are a lot more people in it. There are 24 people as opposed to 12 people in SG solos. That means there's a lot more people to kill and get XP from. But here's the thing, you do have to watch out that sometimes in SG duos you have sweats that play together that are actually competent. So it's kind of a risk/reward situation where you can get a lot of easy kills in some teams, but also a risk where you have some teams that are actually kind of sweaty at SG. You have to mind that. And if you do get a teammate, I recommend just spreading out as far as possible. Basically, you don't have to stick with each other to kill teams. The best way to do it is just go by yourselves, try to grind together, and have one player on one side of the map and have another on another side of the map. Then you can clear out a lot more teams and people fairly quickly, so in the deathmatch, you're just left with you and your friend, basically. That's one tip I'd recommend. Now, the reason why SG is so slow compared to the other games that you can grind and max is because it takes a while to sometimes find people or get into games or even get kills. It's basically Treasure Wars but with the floor. You can run around and kill people and you can sweat at it, but you know, people are spread out and sometimes you just can't find people. It's sad, but that's how you grind SG. It takes a lot of determination, but eventually you can do it once you get into the higher levels. So yeah, I want to thank you all very much for watching another episode of How to Max this 5 game episodes. I really hope you found it useful and enjoyable. Again, SG isn't really a hard game to max, but it takes a while, and these were probably the best tips I could offer in today's episode, so do keep that in mind. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and also if you want a similar video, I have made a video on how to max Murder Mystery, as you can find in the link on the end screen right now. Or if you want to check out my other Hive Bedrock Edition videos, you can check out the playlist on the screen right now. And if you want to subscribe and show your support for me to get 100 subscribers one day, please do click on this regular icon and subscribe. That really helps me out, guys, and I can't wait to see you guys in another episode. Goodbye.